Okay.
Hey, Melissa,
Yes,
I hear you've got questions.
I have questions, and I'm going to pass along a question.
Oh, you have other people questions. Love it. Okay,
I'm
I'm
the
ready.
intermediary. So, where to start? As we know, there's a lot going on in the world in our country. I feel like I say that every time as if people don't know. There is. There's a whole lot. And every day it's like drinking from a fire hose with the news. So, with permission, I want to share and inquire on behalf of my other half. Actually, I don't even like it when people say
I'm
that
not
because
your other half, Melissa.
I mean, in this way, yeah, you are totally. My person, how about that? My
Your
person
person, your person.
who is very philosophy, minor, major, but very like heady and has listened and indulges and respects what I do. And he's learned a ton. So there's been a thing where I've stopped watching the news as much, which feels really appropriate, cancer rising and all that.
Because if you watch too much of it, you feel too much of what the world is feeling. That's the thing people without big water signatures don't understand. It's actually unhealthy if you have too much water to watch too much news
It's true.
because you
And
feel everybody's crisis.
And I would cry every single day. I would say, "I'm not gonna cry tonight." And it was like, "Yeah, you are." And so
Yeah.
I stopped.
Okay.
So now this go around, I was like, "I'm not doing this thing again. I'm not gonna do this thing again. I'm not gonna tune in. I can't stand it." However, the person in my life who is otherwise really mild-mannered, like, doesn't get into it, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party, doesn't use bad language, doesn't shit talk people, nothing. Really, like, not like me. He's not a redneck. He's not part Cajun in Southeast Texas. I'm gonna take my earrings off at all. He's Connecticut.
Oh, he's proper.
That's right. All to say he wears tons of shirts. And so all to say he has done this thing recently where like not recently, for a while where he wants to watch the news and then he wants to talk about it. And he works upstairs and when I'm home, I'm sometimes like I'm listening to people's intensity and I hear him coming down the stairs and I'm like, oh boy. And so he'll come to the door and he'll go, hey, have you heard? And I'm like, nope, I haven't, but I'm fixing to. And it's this little like, and he's not just relaying information because he doesn't talk just to talk. He talks about music and he talks about this and other things, but those are his things at this point.
Okay.
So I'll walk and he's kind of like this, and then I'll turn and he's kind of like this, and I'll walk and he's giving me information and he's so pissed. So all that, I come in here and at some point I'm like getting ready, and he said, I know, okay, I'm gonna back off. I know you got a lot going on. And he goes, what is it in my chart that's making me so pissed? Why can't I stand this? I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it. And I was like, well, first off, no matter what your chart says, I would imagine like decent dialed in people are going to be pissed.
It's that whole if you're not pissed off, you're not paying attention.
He is pissed.
He's
He is
pissed. Okay.
pissed and he can't let it go.
The pacifist is pissed and he's bird dogging you with the energy. Like you can't escape it because he's got you trapped.
No. I'm like, could you narrow it down? And he said, what is in my chart that is creating this
Okay.
indignance about injustice?
Okay.
And it's less about policy, it's more about mistreatment of other people. Why won't other people say it? Da, 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 da. So,
Okay. All right. Let's with consent take a look.
yes, consent.
Take a
Do
look.
it. Tell them where I work. I don't care.
Um, so first off, the bird dogging you with the energy and needing to spew it, that is big mutable energy. And you could see he's got this stellium of Sagittarius energy. He's got his moon and daddy Saturn in Gemini. And those two mutables on their own are a lot of like, I need to talk it out. I need to air sign it out. You hear me say that a lot. I need to air sign it out. So that he needs a place to put that verbal energy after he's consumed it is just part of being mutable and moving while he's sharing it. But because of this Gemini moon, he doesn't actually need an audience. Like he, even if you weren't there, he's going to have this conversation.
Internally, he will for sure.
Yeah. Like of the air signs, Gemini doesn't need a second party in order to have a conversation. Libra needs a second party. Libra needs the +1. And
Hmm.
Aquarius needs an audience. Aquarius is like, here's my TED talk. So the air signs show you how they like to do their verbal. Because he's got that Gemini moon, he's always going to be processing out like that, whether you're there or not. This Sagittarius fire is part of why he cannot keep it under wraps right now. It's got to go out, and up, because that's, of course, the layout of his chart as well. But I'm also noticing that he's got Pluto opposing his ascendant, which means there's this super powerful personality. And of course, Pluto in Libra, that's a generational signature of people just a little bit younger than us. That Pluto in Libra, just this much. That Pluto in Libra signature is, we are here to transform relationships, yes, and how we do partnering, but also completely into, if things are not fair, I will bring the mob to your house. Because Pluto in the natal chart is where we have power that is potentially intimidating. And so he's got it in the 7th house, which means he's probably fabulous in the sack. I'm just saying. But also,
I'm just saying,
as a partner, he's going to be a powerful partner, and he's going to give powerful partner experiences.
Yeah.
Also, Mars in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio. He knows his way around. He's fine. Okay. That he's got really great hot stuff signature here. But also,
and it's like low key hot stuff, which is so interesting. Like, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but when we first met, he again just seems so like he's a great listener and a great he's great at communication and and very mild mannered about so much. But early on I was like, you're sneaky confident. Like you sneak in there and like nobody sees it coming because he's trustworthy, he's genuine, and then like how is I got all this Leo energy and he's the one up there playing music, writing songs, is like is a basis because he wants to be supportive and he likes it, but he is in the spotlight and doing the thing. And so, and he's in sales and in higher education, philosophy minor, philosophy major, studied religious studies, all of that. So it totally makes sense.
Well, that packed 9th house is all those studies and all that interest in the higher mind. But anytime we're dealing with a Capricorn midheaven, that is the goat that scales the vertical face. Like there's a ladder, I will climb it. I will be successful. It can be a competition or not. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be number one. So that confidence that doesn't feel overwhelming to you at first is in large part because he's cardinal on the angles. And especially with both the North Node and Jupiter hanging out in that 10th house, he has nothing but confidence of making that climb. The North Node being there means he's less practiced at it than he will be by the time he's done with this lifetime.
Right.
But he's got Jupiter there going, I got your favor. You're covered. Come on up.
Right.
Let's get back to this whole why am I so mad?
Yes.
Let's add to the equation here the current woo weather. And let's actually take out some of the extras that I've got on this because I know I'm displaying our Lilith and our Hygeia and our Regulus. And actually, let me put those back and just let's just change to this one. Okay.
I'm interested to tell you after you look at all the astro, just 2 things that he said. And I'm like, okay, part of that makes a lot of sense.
You want to tell me now?
Yeah. I mean, at some point I was kind of ribbing him and he's like, no, I'm like really open and flexible. I'm not inflexible. And I said, no, that's true. However, I'm much more likely to break the rules. And I mean like drive in the out thing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's Melissa, it's because it's part of the social contract. We enter into social contracts with people, whether we say it or not. And that's just part of the deal. And I was like, whoa, true. And then he said, I feel like what I'm watching is we're all teachers, which made me laugh because Sag, we're all teachers and we are out on the playground and the principal is bullying the shit out of the kids.
Okay.
Bullying the kids, and we all see it. And people like we treat our kids in the classroom in a certain way, and nobody has the power to say anything. Then we go back to the classroom and we like poo poo that he didn't say that, but you know, the kids, and then we're supposed to be like, we can't say anything or else we'll get in trouble. And he's like, it's just not acceptable.
I just want to say I love that people who are potentially of enough privilege they could get through what's going on right now without any actual
Oh, yeah.
self-reflection or concern for the world, because it really doesn't affect them. I am so inspired when I hear about basically white men, straight white men, cis straight white men saying this is not okay.
Educated,
We need,
intelligent. He was afforded all the things, and he's just like,
and
wow.
he knows this is not okay. Um, okay, so let's look at what's getting activated in his chart, because the rule is we have this natal chart. It is our, speaking of contract, it is our contract with this timeline. It's like, this is the recipe for who I'm here to be. And I am going to live my chart with activations that come by throughout my life. And the activations are like buses. They will come by and you have an opportunity to hop on or not. And if you don't worry. There will be another bus that's going to come along. It may not be the same planet, but it's going to be the same opportunity, because we're constantly getting activated in our natal chart. It's why patterns repeat. It's why we will continue to bring in certain kinds of people until we learn that lesson and all those other, platitudes that we're given in our lifetimes of like, oh, it was here to teach you. It's here for a reason or a season or a lesson or whatever bullshit. Yes, true. You're going to get the bus at some point. So here's the bus that's coming at him right now. There's a bunch of
Whoa, I
you
see
see,
it.
you
Get
see.
done.
Okay. All right. So for number one, let's start
Mhm.
with Pluto, which is giant. This giant Pluto experience is anybody with early degrees fixed or air. Anybody, especially closer in things in their chart that are early degrees fixed or air. Because
Yeah.
Pluto is at early degrees fixed and air, we're going to be getting activations for a couple of years, because Pluto moves so slowly and just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you end up getting like 5 exact hits. So
What do you call any early degree? Like what do you feel like is an early degree?
for so Pluto, let's say I'm talking to people who have 0 degrees to not quite 5 degrees of an air
Yeah.
sign or a fixed sign, are right now getting potentially hard angled the fuck down from Pluto, but also they're getting a trine or a sextile, which is not a hard angle, but it can be a hard time because we're dealing with Pluto. Pluto says, I'm here to transform. So let's just look
Yeah.
at the different things we've got here. His ascendant is at 3 degrees Aries. So that's getting a sextile from Pluto and will for a couple of years. We've got his moon at 3 degrees Gemini. So that's in a trine to Pluto and will be
Yeah.
for a few years. Then we have his natal Pluto over here at 4 degrees Libra. So he's also getting a trine to his natal Libra.
Air sign, and
His,
that's an air sign.
his natal, sorry, yes, his natal Pluto. And let's see what else he's getting. I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to look at the Neptune's a little far out. And also that's an outer planet in the natal chart. So we don't concern ourselves with that as much, but just based on what's happening to his rising and what's happening to his moon, that is 2/3 of his life car that are being
Yeah.
visited by transformation agitation by Pluto, which is power, 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 power. So he's seeing that through the lens of his natal Pluto which is a very fair, a very balanced, I'm here to transform how we do Libra things. And he's watching stuff not be fair and not be balanced and not make sense. And he's got Sagittarius level opinions about all the things. But
Yes.
even bigger,
Also,
even
but
bigger.
also,
But wait, there's more.
that's right.
Even bigger for our delightful, beautiful JM here. We have Daddy Saturn and Neptune running over his ascendant back and forth for a couple of years. The Saturn part won't be a couple of years. That's going to be in and out in a year, because then Daddy Saturn will be in middle degrees of Aries. But right now, both Neptune and Saturn are retrograde and now moving away from his ascendant. But until they went retrograde just a little bit ago, they were pressuring his ascendant because they were both coming in and going up to higher degrees and getting closer and closer to that 3 degrees Aries ascendant. And anytime Daddy Saturn is coming on to one of the big three, which we get multiple times in our lives because Saturn goes around the wheel in 27 and change years, that Daddy Saturn up against the ascendant is going, I'm sending you pressure. I am putting pressure on you. Are you doing what you came here to do? Ascendant, the rising, are you driving your life car the way you should be? Because Saturn is always about the shoulds and shame. And then Neptune says, let's make it confusing.
Right.
Because Neptune, we're always trying to make things confusing. Neptune is, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a lie. I may or may not be telling the truth. But wait, there's more.
Yes,
We've got Uranus dancing
bless its
on.
heart.
That's going to hurt.
Bless it.
His natal moon has Uranus coming for it. And Uranus says, I am here to shake shit up. And the moon says, I'm here to tell you how to find your needs getting met and how to find safety in this life car. So his very definition of how he finds safety and how he gets his needs met is going to be jostled, at the least, jostled, and potentially flipped upside down. You know, this is what sent the Fresh Prince to Bel Air. His life got flipped, turned upside down. It had Uranus.
Is that right?
Uranus is the story all about how that life got flipped, turned upside down. Mm-hmm.
Oh, more than once.
Yeah. So Uranus is coming for his moon, and that will give him feelings of, personally, I am not safe. And because his moon is in his third house of communication and little, like, close in communication with the neighbors or on social media, it can't be kept in his own brain. He actually has to articulate this stuff more than a moon normally would.
Okay.
Can I get you anything else while we're here?
I mean, I think that's probably enough. Well, no, actually, question.
Yeah.
If you were to encourage someone chart harmony wise, what might you say? I realize you just did like a splatter. This is like a splatter paint.
Uh-huh.
Bit of that. But just and this isn't about like I want him okay, but just this is a great example of what might you do in a situation like this to balance out some of the whatever. Or we can do that later.
Let's call this, when you're engaged in a longer term transit, when an outer planet that moves slowly is activating something, especially in your life car, your big three, or any of the personal planets that, you know, Mars, Venus, they count too, but the big three, Mercury for sure, like any of those, not Jupiter, not Saturn, not that those don't feel it, but let's just say for the sake of an outer planet being Uranus, we can count Chiron, it's because it's there, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, when those are coming around and activating those inner planets, we're going to be dealing with something for longer than a quick drive-by. Like Mars
And he's got two, really three right now with this. So he's got all three of them giving him the crunch.
he's definitely feeling it. And
Okay.
when stuff is all over your chart happening at once, which it tends to do, the chart is brilliant in that way. It ends up laying things out in a way that if it doesn't get you here, it's going to get you in another degree over here, or another, like you're going to get that lesson learned. You're going to,
You're gonna get it.
I remember while Pluto was in Capricorn going, I have not been in a hard angle to Pluto for more than a decade now. And I remember going, this is exhausting. This is painful. This, like, physically, it is cracking me. And I was like, yes, because I was going to have to be transformed and it was going to have to happen at some point. And if I had let it happen earlier, I could have probably gotten out of some of the pain of it. It doesn't mean the transit doesn't continue to happen, but
Right.
maybe I wouldn't have been resisting. So here's what we ask of him and anyone who is aware, oh shit, I'm going through what will be a longer, not a quick drive-by transit.
Mhm.
The work is, how do I keep my big three feeling on track? Because remember,
Okay.
they are in a life car on a journey. So with that question, how do I get my big three feeling like they're on track? Let's take a look for him. That's a driver of the life car of Aries, ruled by Mars. So how do we keep Mars happy for him? With his Mars in Scorpio and him being Mars chart ruled over all because he's Aries rising, that's just do Mars shit. Work out more, sweat more, go get a punching bag. If he doesn't have a punching bag with that Gemini moon and Gemini Saturn, he needs something he can do like this with his hands. I know he's used to doing all the musical instruments, which is great too, but he needs to
Yeah.
get some shit out physically to appease Mars.
Okay.
If he would like to cut a bitch, he can do that. You know, hatchet rooms and rage rooms and um, all that axe throwing, archery. Archery's great also for all his Sagittarius. That could be really fun. So, like, something that would feel like it's getting that energy out would be great for the driver. His navigator, riding shotgun, of course, is this sun in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. How do we keep Jupiter through Sagittarius happy? Trust, 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 trust. Because he's got it in the ninth house, it's trust that history will write this because history has always righted it. We have seen through history many times over this little dance and this little show that's being put on. And it doesn't mean we can avoid all the war or whatnot things might be happening, but we do know eventually this stuff gets shook out. Trust.
It probably doesn't help to have a partner who has Pluto, Mercury in a Mercury house and like, oh, I don't know. This is going to be bad. This is, let me tell you all the things. So I'm sure there's some degree of like,
I'm gonna give you homework too. Yes, because also your Cancer rising doesn't help. So but the third thing for him
yes.
is that moon in the back seat. How do we keep
Yeah.
that Gemini moon ruled by Mercury feeling active? Because that Gemini moon wants to always be working on something. He needs to have little hobbies. He needs to have build a guitar, build a piano. He needs to have work with hands, create things that he can then create on for that moon to feel placated and at ease.
Okay.
And then he needs to be able to meet with you and corner you to talk out this stuff in a way that doesn't violate your boundaries. So here's what I call it. We're going to have shit show o'clock. And at shit show o'clock, we're going to get together and we're going to talk about the shit show that is the current nowness. And during shit show o'clock, and it can be every day if you want it to be, but during shit show o'clock, we get to go, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And we can exacerbate one another's fears and we can escalate it, take it up. Oh my God, blah, 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 and we're all going to die. And then we go, and we're done. Now we're done. And that tells the brain, I'm not going to put this stuff on you anytime other than during shit show o'clock. But at shit show
So it is a
o'clock,
container.
it's a container. So
Okay.
then you will not feel your nervous system amped up by, oh shit, am I about to be cornered and have to hear the news that I've been avoiding? I've been doing such a good job avoiding it. Now he's going to bring it to me. I'm living with it. It's like you're living in a minefield and you're wondering when you're going to step on one of the mines. So by having shit show o'clock, it's no longer a minefield.
Mhm.
So that respects at this time, we're going to do this. And he can just keep his notes until that time. And then the cool part is at that time, he will be less activated in sharing it. You will get less activated in hearing it. And when it's done, and it can't be like all night is shit show o'clock, it's got to be like a 10-minute meeting. You'll
Mhm.
find that you're able to burn off that energy together. And then after that, go do something that changes the energy. And it's going to be different for each of you because you are
Right.
ruled differently. You with moon ruler, Cancer first house, you will probably want to go get in the tub or cry or journal or eat ice cream. He, being ruled by Mars, Aries rising, is going to have to go do something, take some action.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Doable.
Yeah, no, I got it. I hear
All
you.
right.
I hear you.
And as for your Mercury ruled Virgo, Pluto, and what was the other one that you've got in Virgo?
My south node.
Your South Node. That is a drain. That is a drain. Yeah, when you want to worry about it, you can turn it into something real physical. You can't yes and him when he wants to worry. I know.
Okay.
I just asked you to do something really hard, which is he goes, "Can you believe blah 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 blah?" You don't get to go, "I know." And did you see that?
Mhm.
Because one of the ways that he feels like he's doing a good job keeping you feeling safe is that he brings you the scariest and you don't out scary him with what you've observed.
Yes. Yes, no, and okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 No, no, don't really. I hear you, and it feels very much like everything is gone. There's a tables turned over the past however many years. Because now I'm like, no, 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 no. And at some point we were in the basement before the pandemic, and I'm like, this is really bad. Like, I feel like this is gonna be so bad. And he's like, why are you getting food? And I'm like, because it's gonna be bad. So there's been a shift. We have gotten to work on some different roles. Enough about us. Thank you so much. He'll be thrilled.
Oh, good.
For the people in
Yes.
general,
For people in general.
the people, what I hear you saying is, yeah, and we know this, you look at your chart. If there continues to be something that's coming up, not a zip of um Mars is like, oh, that was really irritating. And Jupiter's like, oh, this is gonna be great. And Mercury, like, and Venus kind of like move around. But if something is continuing, it's important to look at what's going on in the sky, what's going on in the real time, and see if the players in your car are actually functioning in a way that's beneficial to one another. And ultimately, I mean, it is us, but if we're functioning in a way that's helpful to ourselves and
Yeah.
others.
Because the chart ruler, which is the planet that rules the driver of your life car, if we've got nothing else, we can help the driver's ruler. So that's why knowing your rising sign is so important, because by knowing your rising sign, you know the rising sign's ruler, or you can find out pretty easily. And then once you make that ruler a priority, you're going to be driving around easier. It's sort of like, let's triage this. If you have
Mhm.
time slash energy capacity to also soothe the entire car and its ecosystem, you are going to have a better road trip no matter what you bump into. Or here's a road, a bridge is out, we got to figure out a detour. Cool, but we can, because within this car we're okay. And beyond that, it's, I'm going to be on this rickety bumpy road for years because it's a Pluto transit and my car cannot escape this Pluto transit. It's
Right.
cool. Then what does your car need to do for breaks from that energy so that it doesn't feel like a constant waterboarding? What do we
Mhm.
do so that we actually get a break and can catch our breath while we're going through arguably some of the most transformational energy we'll ever feel?
Right.
What does a
Because all three of them have shifted.
That's right.
And it's, I mean, and although the outer planets impact us as a collective, they most certainly have impact on us. They impact us personally in different ways. And because it's going to go on for a long time, there's no white knuckling or
No,
else your
you
hands are going to fall off.
you will drive your car off a cliff if you think you can just get through it by bearing down and continuing on the path that was mapped out originally. You have to be able to say, I'm going to need to adapt to this terrain. This road is different than what I thought it was going to be. It's like you thought you were driving on the beach and it turns out you're in ice and you need chains or something on your tires that you're like, we don't even have that. So how do we get that? How do we do, or do we just pull over at a rest stop until it's over? If you have the kind of life where you can just pull over for a couple of years, then yay you. But ultimately we're here because we're meant to let the things that are happening to our chart change us in some kind of way, because that's how we live out our chart. So what would
And with
feel
this much practice, with this many, these many, and with the length of time that these planets are going to be in these signs, this is more about long-term change.
Mhm. Especially with anything Pluto, if you are
Yeah.
in a hard aspect to Pluto, if anything in your chart is getting pounded on by Pluto in Aquarius, and a hard angle would be including a conjunction. So if you have anything in early Aquarius, if you have anything in early Leo, and if you have anything in early Scorpio or Taurus, you are going to feel Pluto for a few years. And if you're like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't have anything until late degrees of the fixed signs, cool, but it's coming for you. It'll be there. It just will be,
TikTok.
it'll be there. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be more like, 2038, 2042, something like that before you feel it, depending on
Mhm.
what degrees we're talking about. But just knowing that energy is going to be your experience for a couple of years means you can get thoughtful about, what do I need so that doesn't fatigue me so much. It's like someone's doing construction at the building next door and you can't close the windows. What can you do to help you not have so much of that chaos join you in your live space? I know I've used like 300
Training,
metaphors now.
training for a marathon.
Sure.
This is not a sprint.
Definitely not with outer planets. Like, and this will make you really appreciate Mars transits, because you'll go, oh, that was so zippy. Like that week that I had to endure that shitty Mars transit, that was amazing.
Okay.
Those 4 months that Mars was retrograde in Cancer and it was horrible, that was great. Piece of cake, that sort of thing.
Mercury retrograde, whatever.
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Right. But there are transits that will feel spicier than others. Let him know, most importantly, he's not imagining things. He is
Yeah.
in some woo weather and he's going to be for a while.
All right.
He will get a break. He will get a break from that stuff on his ascendant when Aries loses Saturn and Neptune as they go back into Pisces to finish up some business.
And here's what I won't tell him. This is my Mercury, Pluto. And then he's going to get it because it's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Leave that out. Leave that out. Okay.
Don't let him watch this.
Thank him for letting us teach on his chart.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. I hope that helps all the people.
Absolutely. We obviously, and absolutely is not the word you can combine, but I like that. I was kind of like, absolutely means obviously and absolutely. Y'all put your questions in the comments below. We come back around and hang out with you. Let us know what you need. All right. Love you.